Hello, everybody, and welcome to Music Industry Insights Worldwide. Today, we've got an amazing guest, Alex, with us. Hi, Alex. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. And I really appreciate you having me as my first time doing a podcast. So hopefully this is the first of many.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for sharing your views, your expertise, and your story with us. Do you want to tell the listeners a little bit more about yourself, where you're from, and what you do?
For sure. My background isn't the, let's say, standard trajectory in the music industry.
Mhm.
I come from a person who saw a problem and I'm now putting together a solution to solve that problem.
Okay.
So I might not have an extensive past of being a musician, producer, etc.,
Yeah.
but I do have a background, you could say, more in artist management. That is where I got the lens to build what Leap is.
Awesome. So, do you want to tell us a little bit more about Leap? Because it's described as the platform that artists wish existed before Spotify. So, what gap in the music ecosystem were you personally trying to, solve?
So it is a bold claim, I know. The gap that I'm trying to solve is if we view music in general, it's very social.
Yes.
And if you view in reference the platforms that are currently out there, Spotify, SoundCloud, etc., they're very passive. So the gap between there is where I'm trying to address to bridge it so people aren't relying on algorithms and hoping for the best.
Okay.
It's putting the power back in artists to push forward and actually, build at their pace and build how they want to instead of copying what the most popular sound is.
Okay. That sounds quite cool. And what's the money like on that? Do you get better pay than you would on Spotify, for example?
You would. So let me explain the premise and then I can break down into monetarily how it might benefit like an artist who's up and coming, because that's really who I'm targeting here is up and coming artist producers.
Perfect.
So you can think of Leap like this. In the old age or even current, demos and sending people a mixtape is kind of what happens. You find someone on YouTube, whatever it might be, you send them a track, it's a closed loop. It's either they like it, you get lucky because everyone else is doing the same thing, or they just click, not reply or delete.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do is break out of the whole demo phase, you could say it, and push it more into a collaboration. What Leap is primarily is we allow artists to post work in progresses and get insights, feedback, creativity to refine their song
Yeah.
well before it ever gets to streaming.
Okay.
Like when we looked at the issue on a whole basis, I think it was 87.6% of independent artists never break through.
Right.
It's a big stat, and it's not because of talent, but rather, as I mentioned before, the platforms they use make them passive.
Yes.
If you look at any artist, they upload daily, they post, they pay for subscription sites, maybe they pay for reviews, and then they wait for that algorithm to magically push them into a place where they hope they would get.
Yeah.
And the creator tools market in general, which is what I'm part of, is valued at 12.3 billion, I think, at this point, and it's growing at 22.5% annually. So
Wow.
it's quite large and it's growing.
Yeah.
The negative side to that growth is what they use is they're targeting artist desperation and vulnerability to, reach that dream.
Okay.
That's what they prey off of, and that's where all that kind of funding comes from to keep you in as long as they can, not really pushing you to the actual, place you want to be or the exposure you would need.
I get you.
To
So how,
break it down, yeah,
sorry, how did you get into music in the first place and what made you want to actually make this platform? Like, is it
you
'cause-
read my mind. So, what kind of brought me into it more so was a close friend of mine who
yeah,
was an upcoming artist. He came from, suburbs, didn't have any connection to the music industry, and he did what every artist kind of does now, pay for Spotify placements.
yeah,
They go to talent shows and, hope someone's there that would recognize them. They pay to meet people, but usually they get scammed because those people aren't really there to, they don't show up or whatever it might be.
yeah,
So when I saw that and he did all those things every growth pack and only got like 100 streams as a result, I'm like, okay, there must be something else there that other people are doing that he's not.
yeah,
When I dove into the stats, started looking at, I interviewed hundreds of artists at different levels of their career, producers as well, to kind of see, okay, what did you do at the beginning? What are you doing now? Like, where's this gap? What's happening in between?
yeah,
On a wide base of the stats here, it was like 67% of them indicated that networking is not their strong suit. These are musicians. They want to be musicians. Network, they can't be an all in one purpose. Like networking isn't for everyone, and it's
no,
understandable.
yes,
53% of them indicated that finding a collaborator was hard. everyone shoots for the most like popular person they know as opposed to the person at their level. So
Yes.
it kind of cuts off people from all over the gap. So it's like, I'm not making any progress. Now I'm even more depressed.
Yeah.
The last 47% of them touched upon not having actual feedback. That's what killed any sort of development, growth, anything in that in between. So all these things kind of indicate that this isn't a talent thing anymore. This is a discovery and learning problem that we have currently in the industry, that at least what we're seeing.
Hmm. That makes sense. And you're obviously dealing with songs that are unfinished tracks as well, is that right? So you're more focused
Yes.
on an unfinished song. So why do you think an unfinished song is so important to artistic development?
I think touching more upon the creativity. So what we do, we don't focus at all about the selling of the song. We care more about you exploring and you getting the chance to showcase your skills. So tying into what Leap actually does, the whole idea is artists are there to explore a variety of sounds from the community. It's only a snippet that, let's say, if I post a song up, it's only a snippet that someone else can come in and showcase their talent. If you could think of it from a value perspective, I now have the chance to showcase my real insights, my real actual talents on a song. That's a better draw for you to be like, wow, like they changed my song as opposed to the original idea with the demos. Cool, you made that for yourself. How does that affect me? This addresses that right off the bat. And at the same time, it's no longer that closed loop where it's like, I'm taking my shot at you.
Yeah.
Now I'm taking my shot at you, yes, which is more impactful because I'm changing your actual song, but everyone else can see what I did. So fans, producers, everyone else alike can now see what happened. So it makes every song theoretically into a portfolio piece, public audition, and like a growth lever or a discovery for yourself.
And collaboration is really, really important, like you touched on, but also getting that feedback, right? So I think that's really, really important.
Yes.
But how does that change the quality of the music by the time it's finished?
Um, in the theoretical sense and how we've been seeing it play out within the various betas we've done, it leads out to a better song. So
Okay.
let's say example A, you post your song and me and five other people like remix a segment of your song, right? Now, this is not, you can think of it in the sense of a beta. You now see different versions of your song. Not only can you pick the best, but you're also seeing what the fans, other professionals alike, are voting up what might be, the next best thing. If you're mainly a country artist and someone did a Spanish remix and everyone's loving that, now you're like, wow, I never knew I can delve into that realm. Like this is a whole new avenue I can now explore and, make a song with this person.
Okay, so it's a bit like marketing and having an A and a B testing kind of thing to see what's more
Yeah,
popular
yeah, yeah.
with the audience, right?
Yes, exactly.
And do you have to pay to be part of the platform?
So now I'll cycle into your original question and this. The way the platform is functioning would be off subscription based.
Yeah.
So that will be, we're tailoring it towards, again, newer artists. So the expectation isn't like, $40 a month. But it's going to be in tandem subscription and also a credit based system. So not everyone is forced to pay, again, we're trying to keep it downscaled, affordable for people. So the people that want to spend more, they have the credits to do so to top up whatever they want, but not everyone is held to that standard. So you use it as much as you want to use it.
Right.
Tying into the monetization side of things, within this, I talked to Grammy nominees. I talked to a whole wide range of people that said, how is this impactful to me if I'm not a new person?
Yeah.
Which I understand.
Mhm.
So within the whole collaboration side of things, the main function, the remix, the two ways that I see it being used is one, you can see two different artists.
Yeah.
Artist A is established, artist B is brand new.
Uh-huh.
Artist A doesn't care maybe about, remix my song, whatever it might be. As you see popularly these days, old songs getting remixed. This person doesn't care at the point that they're out there like, I just want to make money.
Yeah.
So they can do monetization mode. So for every person that remixed their song, they would preset the split. So all the people who are liking the song, doing different emotions, you can view it in terms of like a TikTok
Yeah.
where you pay for doing a like, whatever it might be. So the revenue from that, again, this person put it out. So it's an 80-20 split.
Right.
So all the proceeds, the 80% per each remix, now goes to the original person. 20%, let's say, for example, I remix a song, another person remix a song. I would only get that 20% of the likes on my particular remix.
Okay.
The other person gets their proportional share, but you would get 80% of each of them.
So
On the flip side, go ahead.
that still remains quite fair actually for the artist too, right? That's quite good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's trying to balance that risk, but at the same time, giving people the flexibility to, change your song, but you already have a finished song. Like your song is popular for a reason. Now you're giving people access to change it, but again, paying you back some,
Yes.
which we think is fair.
Hmm.
The flip side, which is like you could say growth, not like motivation side. If I'm a brand new artist and I have a song that's quite, let's say popular, or I think it's going to be a good hit, but I just want people to see it. I want people to try remixing it. I just want people to see it.
Yeah.
Um, Opposite way around. So now I would do, okay, I will only take 20% of any proceeds that are done, while the remixers will get 80%. So it's, again, balancing out. I have nothing, but this might be good for someone to do something with. I want to motivate you to make money off my song, while at
Yeah.
the same time giving me ideas and making the song with you. So here, give your best shot. So now it just flipped.
That sounds so cool. And it also sounds like you're promoting collaboration with people that you might not necessarily know, which is superb.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. I want to break the mold of algorithm and copying what's popular to just explore what's creative for you and make it sustainable. Oftentimes, when you go into the industry of music, it's, oh, I'm not making money. I keep, banging my head against the wall. And you lose sight of like being creative and doing something that's going to last you long term. If you can't stick with something long term, especially music, you're not going to actually reach, the time it takes to develop a fan base, develop a career, and your own sound.
Absolutely. And how important is consistency to you and to these new developing artists, do you think?
Very, very. Even with like again, how the platform's gonna be shaped, like it's not like, and it's obvious. You do your first remix, it's not like you're gonna blow up. It still takes time and consistency, but it's just that sense of the more times that you can showcase and develop your sound by just trying different songs and by, showcasing your talent in different songs, it builds up your portfolio to showcase to people that you're serious, you're here to last. It's not just you tried one day, you threw AI audio in, whatever it might be, and you like screwed off. It's I'm a consistent person. I'm here to stay. There's like it's worth investing in me so we can actually make something.
That sounds brilliant. And do you know what? How many members have you got at the moment? And when did you start Leap?
It's probably been a year and a half. I think within my last beta, I had about 150 people join. Now I'm going to my second phase later this year in tandem with the contest that we're running. But I would say 150 that tried the platform, and then on my socials, a lot more, and hopefully to grow from that point. But starting base, yeah.
That sounds good. And many platforms optimize for streaming and performance metrics. How does Leap intentionally move away from the algorithm driven, creativity?
So you can see a Spotify that shows top trending artists based off, random things like, oh, let's say they're popular, they have this many followers, so we're going to promote them to this.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do instead is promote people who are just joining the platform and people don't have that spotlight. So, for example, a couple of things might be, most recent remix just to bring up to the top within a genre. We also have I will definitely show you the site later, but
Cool.
there's a globe on the page where you can just click whatever genre you want, and it will just showcase like anyone in that genre on like random. So we want to promote people having that sense of like discovery to be like, I want to explore something new. I know it's within my taste bracket, but
Uh-huh.
I just want to hear something different. And
Yes.
then just explore organically through there as opposed to now where everything's curated and very like professionally fixed to maybe your like taste bracket, but like the most fun part of discovering music is discovering music for yourself.
Yes. And experimenting as well, right? And it sounds like with what
Exactly.
you're also keeping the cost down by allowing other people to remix and collaborate on stuff where they might not necessarily have to pay for studio time, for example.
Yes. We're in that in between of like we don't want to impose on people like if people use FL tools, whatever other DAWs they might have.
Uh-huh.
We're not in the business to play aggressively and cut that out.
Yeah.
The whole point is you come here, you take the things you want for inspiration, you remix whatever you want, the snippet within your private DAW, and you upload it back here. So this is like the finished, it's the discovery, and then the finished product of again that demo to promote people to actually work together off the platform. I
Yeah.
don't care how they sell it. I care about the connection, collaboration, inspiration.
This sounds cool because I've got so many demos that are not completely finished yet. So I'm really interested in what you're doing. The way it sounds great and it sounds really innovative and it's what we need at the moment, I think. So tell us a little bit more from a product perspective. What's the biggest challenges you face at the moment with the platform?
The biggest challenge, honestly, at this point, it's just it's building momentum. Like for a product basis, it's managing the storage costs, which we've definitely found a way. We've recently done a collaboration with both Lyric Finder and Lala AI.
Okay.
So they're helping us in terms of managing, because obviously if I'm uploading stem files, etc., that space or storage like definitely shoots up. But we found a way to manage it so that no longer is main point of contention, which I know originally was. Um, but yeah, right now my biggest issue, aside from anything developed product wise, is just that exposure piece, which I'm sure this will definitely help with.
Yeah. And how does the metadata work on that as well? Do you collect all of that on the platform?
Yes, so we collect metadata in the sense of like my whole idea with the whole platform, especially with the feedback element, is everything needs to be actionable. So,
Yes.
for example, let's say your song's being played through the radio feature,
Hmm.
and let's say 10 artists click like at a minute 10, maybe 20 artists click, next at a minute 30.
Yeah.
So we track that to give you actual insights to be like, hey, like at a minute 10, like a lot of people are liking this, you know, here's the data that showcase like what people are, where they're from. And again, now okay, people like a minute 10, but
Yeah.
people click off at a minute 20. My gap there means that I probably have to change something through a minute 20. So
Okay.
then that goes through the feedback, collaboration, and the cycle continues. So you always make the perfect song.
No, I like the sound of that. That sounds brilliant. Now, you've been in the music industry for quite a while now. So tell us what brought you into music and how important do you think music education is, when you're entering the music business?
My roots have been in classical music. I was actually a bass clarinet player and then graduated to the violin somehow.
Yeah.
And then that's what brought me into the artist kind of management space. But I think education is extremely important.
Yeah.
Oftentimes people think it's just post a song on YouTube or spam Spotify, which so does everyone else,
Yeah.
and then that's it. But if you don't understand like the actual components of what music is and how to actually, create things, understand what your sound is and how to find that, you'll never improve and you'll end up in the loop of feeling like lost forever.
Yeah.
I think that more education and just understanding generally how things work and how sounds interplay is what shapes an artist and what makes them great. I think it's essential.
Absolutely. I agree. And now you've worked across partnerships, you've worked across product growth and artist development. How has that mix shaped you as a person today and how you're putting this platform out?
It shaped me in terms of I'm not a person that came from blah blah background of like, tremendous company. I'm a person really who's just like anyone else. I saw a problem and I took my best shot at it and now I'm making traction, which, is very exciting for me. Um, right now, what we are gearing up and the kind of presentation point is I've recently made a wonderful partnership with Lefem. Oh my God, they're gonna kill me that I don't remember the name. Let me pull it up right now. But they're a big component of festival at BAFTA.
Yeah.
So we are actually being in conjunction with them to have a couple of our artists that are within this contest to actually perform at one of their after parties.
Awesome. And I know BAFTA because I've been there several times. So yeah, that's really nice
No
to.
way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, one of my friends, she works there. So that's really interesting. And I think, also having these collaborations across the creative sector is really, really important too, right?
100%. It's La Femme Independent Film Festival. That's the company. They're amazing. I'm going to thank them again after this. But yes, in collaboration with them, Lala AI, and also Lyric Finder, we are hosting a contest that we're going to have all types of artists give their chance to, again, remix three select songs and have judges that like to vote up who would be the top three. And then from there, give them a shot at radio time and also the chance at performing at the after party. So, it's going to be very exciting.
It's massive. And I love the way that you focus on collaboration over competition. Because I think, the music
Mm-hmm.
industry is full of a lot of competition. So it's actually nice to see that you're building something where people are working together.
Oh no, 100%. Like there's so often times where people think they can do everything, but like the whole, I think, real way to help artists is to fit within the puzzle as opposed to taking over the puzzle. So
Yeah.
we're trying to fit in without disrupting. Oh, I have to learn a whole new DAW system. I have to now find a whole new distributor or learn how theirs works. We
Yeah.
want to fit within it, so it's an organic process that's just a natural, contingency to how, to make me successful.
Yeah. And obviously you've been in artist management. What do you think about artist development at the moment? And what are the problems with artist development, do you think, that we have?
Yeah, yeah. I think the main problems really stem from the lack of knowledge of like, again, people overlook like you should reach out to people on your level. Oftentimes people think they're above that. Oh no, I need to take my shot at the next highest person. But really is you have to build up that point, and at the same time, you never know who's gonna, theoretically blow up.
Yeah.
So the more times you can make these connections, these and just talk with people, make songs with them at your level, people will see it and it adds momentum. I think the most important thing in music is that sense of momentum. If you're always doing collaborations or you're making music with different people, you're stealing, not stealing in that sense, but you're taking insights, you're taking knowledge from them,
And
and you're in yourself. Again, you could start at nothing, but by being consistent and just learning from people and just talk with people, whatever it might be, like that's what makes you a good artist is experience. You need to gain this experience to actually make it.
absolutely. And it's a relationship built business as well. And I think a lot of people forget that. So you're trying to cut across the networking side of it. But for me, networking has been extremely important. That's how we've met. But a lot of my things come from
100%.
meeting people face to face or, building that relationship. What kind of advice would you give to people that aren't so good at networking, but actually have to do a little bit of that?
I would definitely say come to my platform. But on a side note, away from that, um, you have to be vulnerable and be fine with rejection. Oftentimes, people are too scared to take their shot, which you never know what's going to happen. You have to be with okay and realize it's not the end of the world if they say no.
Yeah.
Again, there might be a chance in the future, so always leave the door open, but like you have to be comfortable with rejection, like even with feedback,
Yeah.
even with like trying to shoot a shot at someone, like just be okay with it. Rejection is the biggest point that deters people, but it's the most important thing to conquer that will actually set you free and help you grow.
Absolutely. And I still get way more no's than I get yeses now. So, and I've done so well in
Hmm.
history. I think, you've always got to get used to that, but never take it personally. I think it's extremely important,
Yes.
So obviously, what role do you see fans playing in the creative process? Obviously, when you're building these tracks, you're getting people involved, you're getting the collaborations. How can fans get involved and also support the creation of this music?
Okay. This part I find is really exciting. So, from a fan's perspective, think of it like this. Who's your favorite artist right now, or your favorite song, let's say?
Oh, that's a good one. I would say my favorite artist would probably be Mariah Carey at the moment.
Okay. Now, let's say you listen to Mariah Carey songs a whole bunch, and you're like, man, I wish she just tried XYZ stuff. Maybe she try rock, for the hell of it. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Now, for the first time ever, you can say fans have the ability to influence and showcase to artists what they actually want to hear. Again, it's not stealing away from the sense of like, oh, monkey see, monkey do, like, do what I say, but it's showcasing like what actually might be popular and what avenues they can go down. So, for a fan's perspective, I see a bunch of remixes done on my favorite song, my favorite artist. He put his song out. I'm like, oh my God, like this is the perfect song for me. The Spanish song, I'm going to vote it up, as is everyone else. You now had a hand in creating your favorite song with your favorite artist. It's the first time ever where fans have an influence and impact on, the potential song that could be made theoretically for them.
That sounds really cool. And it sounds like they're part of this process, which actually makes it more personalized, right? And fans love that.
Yeah, 100%. And at the same time, within this platform, and the whole idea is building that kind of cult-like following for fans.
Yeah.
So on the platform as well, let's say, for example, Mariah Carey's on the platform, you're her fan, and you're like, oh my God, my birthday's coming up. Like, I would love to commission something. You ask her, hey, my birthday's coming up, blah, blah, blah. And she has your fee there. You can now get a personal song, from your favorite artist. It gives artists money. It builds a connection for you. It's just a fun way to just fund artists in a natural way as opposed to like Patreon. Here's this, but I get nothing from return. It's just a fun way to, build that exchange and that loyalty from your fans.
Yeah. Cool. And what's been some of your major wins and successes so far in music?
What was that? Sorry?
What's been some of your major wins and successes so far in music?
Oof. Personal for music or in general with this platform?
Um, Either one, you can choose.
Major successes so far has been just breaking through, I would say, within the development of this application.
Yeah.
Um, from starting from nothing, no background, to even getting one person on the platform to try it, it's just that sense of validation. validation that is unlike anything else. The sense of like, I'm working on something that's actually valued, even though, yes, I've interviewed plenty of people to define, hey, this is what's missing. I don't have a solution for it, but this is what's missing. And then creating the pieces that people actually connect with.
Yeah.
I think that's been my greatest success is just, even having one person join the platform and tell me this is exactly what I needed. That honestly is what really helped me push forward to now. And it's going to keep me going forward.
And is this worldwide as well? Can anyone join?
Yes, from UK, USA, wherever you are.
Excellent. I think we really like to see, especially emerging artists and the developing markets get involved because there's a lot of growth there and potential.
Mm-hmm.
How important do you think that is for your platform?
I think it's super important. Like, if you look at one specific country, like, yes, there are some diversity within each country, but usually it has the same sound. And then oftentimes a new artist will only stick to that one sound instead of exploring. I think opening up the realm a bit more and more of this kind of natural way where people are, pushed to collaborate, pushed to remix and just try to shot different songs. I think opening up is really what's going to help change music. Even now, genres are a thing of the past, I believe. I think what really is going to help people is to not be, boxed to this is my genre, that's it.
Right.
Opening up the realms to I want to like explore what I want to explore because I'm a creative. That's what these people are. Like this will give them the chance to, and I think that's immeasurably powerful to just explore wherever you want and land on something, make your own path.
And looking ahead at Leep, it's reshaping early stage music, and creation. What do you think the broader impact of the music industry could be in the next 5 to 10 years?
Hopefully, in the next 5, 10 years, it's less of the issues that we've been having with, let's say, Spotify, with their kind of abusive practice here and there. Same with other platforms. I hope it pushes back where labels don't take advantage of young artists. I hope it's a place where music can be less about copying what's popular, less about, hey, like I want to pay for success, and more about I'm unique. I don't need a billion fans. I need my select few that resonate with me. And, this is what I love to do. It shouldn't be a chore anymore. It should be, I love doing this and this is what I want to do.
Absolutely, absolutely that. So just tell us a little bit more as well. Like if fans want to listen to find out more, they want to go onto your platform, they want to make some music or listen to some new music. How could they do that?
They can find me on LinkedIn, Leep Audio. We also have our website. It's just a landing page, but it's leapaudio.com.
Okay.
And lastly, we're on all of the platforms, TikTok, Instagram, under the same handle, Twitter. So, yep, anywhere and everywhere.
Excellent. I'll leave all the links in the description below so all the listeners can go and find out more. Please go and check out the platform. And I'm wishing you all the best with everything you're doing, and well done for bringing something new to the table and obviously trying to solve a problem, because that's really, really important. We need more people like you in the game, for sure.
No, thank you so much. And we need more people like you, just
Thank you.
giving a chance to up and coming people. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you ever so much. And I will speak again soon.
Perfect. Thank you again. Take care.
Thanks.